Fraud is one of the unfortunate realities of corporate life. One of the most credible sources in relation to fraud is the report to donations issued by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners every 2 years. The latest version of the report was issued in 2020 and it provides some interesting statistics. Certified fraud examiners estimate that about 5% of organizational revenue is lost to fraud. So let's put that into context. If an organization has got a profit margin of 20%, losing 5% to fraud means that actually they have reduced their profit by 25%. And these numbers are really staggering. The report was based on questionnaires and interviews with 2,600 organizations from various regions around the world, and the statistics were pretty much the same everywhere. Also, one of the interesting facts in relation to fraud is the level of seniority of the people committing it and the impact on the size of the losses. So when a senior executive or business owner commits fraud, the average loss is about $600,000. When a middle manager commits fraud, the average loss is about $150,000. And when an employee commits fraud, the loss is $60,000. So as we can see, people with more power and more privileges within an organization actually have got the opportunity to commit bigger fraud and cause bigger losses to the organization. Also, we need to keep in mind that fraud is not an event. Fraud is actually a process. It occurs over a long period of time, and again, report to donation states that the typical fraud case lasts 14 months before it's detected, and also it results in losses of about $8,300 per month. So as we can see, it's not just the act of doing it once. And actually some fraud cases, there was one in Brisbane here a few years ago, some fraud cases last much longer than 14 months. That specific one resulted in losses of $20 million and it lasted over 8 years. So fraud is something that organizations need to be really mindful of and put in place the measures to deal with.